You're talking to me. Oh, okay. So for dinner, we have baked.
Hey. Okay.
I think we're gonna make some. What is your favorite meal?
Huh? I don't get it.
Babe, for dinner tonight, we're gonna make baked potato soup with Cheddar Bay Biscuit Topping.
Oh boy, that was.
That's a bit violent.
All right, let's try it a little more friendly from the top. You look angry. I don't think this is a dish that's going to be made with love.
Okay, I'm making with love.
Tough love.
Tough love.
All right, girls, what are we making?
Baked potato soup with Cheddar Bay Biscuit Topping.
Brandy.
I had to finish it.
Hey guys, so for dinner tonight, we are gonna make some baked potato soup with Cheddar Bay Biscuit Topping. I'm gonna go over the ingredients with y'all. You need at least 6 pieces of bacon. We usually use thick cut bacon. This time it's just normal cut bacon. You're gonna wanna use black pepper. You wanna use chicken stock. You can also get away with chicken broth. However, this gives it like a more hearty, rich flavor. So that's what I'm going with. Sea salt, onion powder, garlic powder, cream cheese, some chicken dust, and was what we call it, but chicken bouillon for everybody else. Ranch seasoning, cheese. You need like 2 cups of cheese, and then I believe you need like 12 ounces of cheese. And then you also need potatoes. So my method on this is I usually use 1 potato for every person in the family. We're a family of 6. So I use 6 potatoes for mine. They are russet baking potatoes, but you're more than welcome to put any other potato that you want to give it a try. It is your recipe whenever you start to cook. But essentially that's all the stuff that I'm going to need for the baked potato soup recipe. Like I said, there is the box for the Cheddar Bay biscuit. However, we also are gonna have Brandy make homemade Cheddar Bay biscuit mix with ingredients that we already have at the house. And I'm gonna let her go over that with you.
So for this recipe, you're gonna need flour, parsley, ground cayenne, smoked paprika, baking soda. If you have baking powder, you can use baking powder. If you don't, then you can use baking soda and cream of tartar. And we'll give you the ratio for that in the description. For this, you're gonna need buttermilk. We'll also give a recipe for if you don't have buttermilk, a substitute. And you're also gonna need butter. I'm gonna show you how to make the buttermilk first. So this is gonna be your buttermilk substitute. If you don't have buttermilk, you can do this and make your own at home. So the ratio is a cup of buttermilk to a half of a tablespoon of white vinegar. We use whole milk. You can use whatever milk, doesn't really matter. And then you're gonna just pour your vinegar in there. You can already see that it's starting to like curdle up. And you're gonna let this sit for a few minutes to milk. I don't know. And then you're gonna
stir it.
So you're gonna stir it a little bit and you're gonna leave it to constitute. Then you can stick it in the fridge. It can be cold, doesn't have to be cold, your preference.
Right, so we are gonna get our bacon. We're gonna stick it in the oven at 375 degrees for 20 minutes. And then I always set a timer for mine, because if I don't, I'll forget about it and I'll burn the bacon.
Hooray.
So if you are absent-minded like me, set a timer.
So right now what we're doing is we're gonna be making the Cheddar Bay biscuits. First, you're gonna need 2 cups of flour. You should level these because measurements. I use this. I found it in a drawer and it works really well. So
There you go. Good job.
yeah. So while I'm doing this, Mama's gonna be shredding our cheese. You're gonna need 1 cup of it for this recipe, and that is what she's doing.
All right, so we just finished shredding 2 cups of cheese. This is 2 cups of cheese, and then we're still gonna need a half a cup for the cheddar biscuits. So I am going to go ahead and shred up some more cheese. As you can see, my handy dandy cheese grater right here is amazing. I did get it from the TikTok shop. I love it. It does make grating cheese easy, fast. You can use already grated cheese, but it is not going to melt nearly as good as block cheese that you shred yourself, because the bag cheese, it's got flour in there to help it keep the cheese from sticking to itself, which I mean, that's good, but it doesn't make it, good for when you want your cheese to be nice and gooey and melty. Not good at all for that, so. We use sharp cheddar and extra sharp cheddar for this. That's just our personal preference. You could use like mild cheddar if you wanted to.
So for our baking powder, since we don't have baking powder, we're gonna be doing 1/4 of a teaspoon for each teaspoon of baking powder. Because we're doing 2 teaspoons of baking powder, we're gonna be doing a teaspoon of cream of tartar and 2/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. This is our baking powder mix. Now for the recipe, we need 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. So one ingredient I forgot to mention was you need a teaspoon of sugar. So that's next. And next you're gonna need 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Next you need a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Next for this part, you're gonna need 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. This is the part where we're gonna add our buttermilk and our cheese.
While she's grabbing the buttermilk, we are going to peel our potatoes. I've already washed these, but now we're gonna peel them. And then once you peel the potatoes, you're gonna cube them into like 1-inch dices. Basically, your potatoes just need to go ahead and simmer for like 15 to 20 minutes.
Are you sneaking cheese and bacon?
What are y'all doing?
And chicken.
All right, next what we're gonna do is we're gonna build our soup base. I am gonna go ahead and put this on like a simmer. So we've got 32 ounces of chicken stock. We're gonna put the whole thing in there. And then because we are doing 6 potatoes, I'm actually going to also add in 2 cups of water. So we're gonna have a total of 6 cups of liquid. So in goes our water. I'm gonna put our seasonings in there. We're gonna do a teaspoon of chicken dust, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder. Now these seasonings are not salt-based seasonings, so it's just gonna add flavor and not salt. But when we add salt, that's what's gonna be the salt. For the ranch, it would be like a packet size, which is 2 tablespoons. So we're gonna do 1, 2 tablespoons. Now a lot of this does have salt, so we're not gonna add a ton of salt, and then you're gonna want to taste this. If it gets too salty for you, you can always add in more potato, and that will help with it. And then my kids don't love a ton of black pepper, so I'm only gonna do 1/4 of black pepper. We're gonna cut that out there.
What'd you
So
drop?
we're not gonna use that one. But we're gonna use the 1/2 teaspoon and only use about 1/2 of the 1/2 to get to the 1/4. Bam! So now we are stirring all of our seasonings in together, and then we're wanting this to come to a boil. Once it comes up to a boil, we're gonna stick our diced potatoes in there, and we're going to let them simmer for 15-20 minutes. Once you can kind of smash a potato piece up against the edge of the pot, that's how you're gonna do it in a little bit. We have not forgotten about our cream cheese. That is gonna go in after we get the potatoes cooked. So we're getting there. All right, and here goes our potatoes. Woo! Ooh, it's hot. It's hot. And it's splashy. All right, so give it a little stir, cover it up, and then let it simmer for 15 to 20 minutes. Again, I time everything because if I don't, it'll burn. All right, so we're gonna dump in our cream cheese. Bam! But remember I said like we wanted to make sure our potatoes were tender? See, look at that. We're smashing them on the side of the pot right there. So that means they're good. If you want your potato soup to be like creamy, then it's okay to like smash some of this up, by the way. Totally up to you. It is gonna get a little bit creamier with this cream cheese in here, so. And then we're basically just gonna get this all stirred up and then cook down. We just need enough cheese left over for the Cheddar Bay biscuits.
So now we've melted our butter. We're going to be putting this into our soup along with our buttermilk.
And our soup.
Biscuit mix.
Our biscuit mix. Along with our cheese. A little more than a cup. Just gonna be some extra cheesy biscuits.
You can put more in my soup if you want to.
Mash it all together. And because this flour, you're really gonna wanna turn over this to get your flour and your milk together, and it'll start coming together like a paste almost. It's gonna be very thick. When we're done, this is what your mix should look like. It should be really sticky too, so. So if you didn't want to put these in soup and you just wanted these like as biscuits, you could put them in the oven at 450 for 12 minutes on a cookie sheet. If you want good portion size, you would use 1/4 of a cup, scoop it out, and that should make you like 10 biscuits. But we're not doing that because like.
So we always recommend that it is very important to taste your food. In case you were missing an ingredient, you'll kind of be able to get an idea at this point. But we're also able to make this recipe into a whole nother recipe by only adding 2 ingredients. That being rotisserie chicken, like shredded up or chopped up, and peas and carrots, like frozen peas and carrots. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish off this recipe by ladling potato soup into this Corningware bowl for Brandy.
Because I'm picky like that.
Because she's picky like that. And her sisters are too. So she's gonna put biscuit on top of it, and then we're gonna put it in the oven, uncovered at 425 for 15 minutes.
So from here now, we're gonna be putting our biscuit topping on top. Make sure your hands are clean for this because you're definitely gonna have to touch it. Now it's gonna sink under a little bit, but that's gonna get baked out whenever you put it in the oven. It's gonna look like there's no biscuit on it, but there is in fact like good 3 inches of biscuit on the top of that.
So for the other recipe, we are gonna dump in our chicken, rotisserie chicken. I used 1/2 of rotisserie chicken. You can use the whole thing if you want. And then now we're gonna add in the frozen peas and carrots. So we just want it warmed through. Same thing with the peas and carrots. And it says on the bag anyway, like it just has to be warmed up for what, 4 to 5 minutes on the stovetop. So that's essentially what we're gonna do.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
How rude!
Half. All right, so we have just dumped in 1/2 cup, well, 2 1/2 cups, making 1 whole cup of peas and carrots. And we are just going to stir that together, making sure it don't burn. And we just want to get that nice and warm. So we're gonna simmer it for about 4 to 5 minutes. All right, so we're ready to put the baked potato soup with Cheddar Bay Biscuit topping in the oven. We're gonna wanna leave it uncovered in the oven safe Corningware at 425 degrees for 15 minutes. And then after that, we are gonna wanna put the butter topping and baste it on, and they'll be complete.
Next, this is the topping that we're gonna be putting on the biscuits whenever they come out of the oven. This is just 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, about 1/4 of a teaspoon of parsley, and 2 tablespoons. I added a little more than 2 tablespoons because of how much we're doing. So that is gonna be a bit more. But other than that, this is what we're gonna brush on the tops to make it all nice and delicious once it's done.
So we are going to go ahead and ladle our chicken pot pie mix into our casserole dish. Then we are going to put our Cheddar Bay Biscuit topping on top. And then we're gonna pop that bad boy into the oven at 425 for 15 minutes. We're just dressing up our pot pie.
With heaven.
Yeah, so if you're like me and you don't really like biscuit mix or your biscuit to touch your soup, you can just ladle yourself out some chicken pot pie soup or potato soup if you didn't have any of the veggies in the chicken.
I was trying not to I wanted to cut it, but I wanted it to be less than 30 seconds, so I'm over here just like, please don't burn.
It is very full and heavy, but beautiful. Look at how gorgeous. All right, now we are going to brush it with our butter topping, and then we're gonna let it rest for 10 minutes. And then we're gonna come in, serve it up, and enjoy. All right.
Don't forget the potato soup. The potato soup is really good too. We added all the ingredients to our other video. I still didn't eat mine yet. Mine's so hot. It just came from here. A little bit of bacon.
Happy girls.
Yay.
This is one meal that everybody actually eats, you guys.
Hey guys, we don't have many of those.
We sure don't.
We really don't make this a lot. We make it maybe once every. Because it's very filling.
It is
And it
very
lasts-
filling.
And it lasts you take 2 bites and you're already.
Are you full?
No, you take 2 bites and you're already full. I'm already full, bro. Are you sure? How? I'm already full. How? Gotta say because it's so popular and it's really filling. You should make some.
I don't know. I started singing it, so I had to finish singing it.
Babe, if you haven't realized by now, we just sing everything. So I don't know, why can't we sing for the people?
Make potato soup
With Cheddar Bay Biscuit topping. That's what we're making for dinner tonight.
for you.
For your entertainment, we're making it for you. Cheddar Bay Biscuit, potato soup, Cheddar Bay Biscuit.
Stop.
Soup.
Stop.
That was dumb.